Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do kind of a different kind of video, for me at least. So these are all the books that I have abandoned at some point or other. A lot of these are ones that I read for like a day or two, just kind of partially, like I was reading something else, but I just mixed it up and kind of, oh, hey, I'll try this one. And then I just never got back to it. So there are, what did I say? There's 9 here. There's 9 books here. So these are all books that I do want to get back to. I think there are more that I abandon a lot of books like this a lot, where I read for a day or two and then just never come back to them. But these are the 9 that I've been thinking about that I want to get back to. I would love to get back to all these before the end of the year. But some of these are older, but most of them are from, or half of them, a little bit over half are from this year. So again, they're books that I didn't DNF like fully, but they just kind of dropped off. And so I'm considering them abandoned books because I'm like, I meant to finish them. They were left on my currently reading for some of these for months before I moved them back to be read, because I just wasn't reading them. So anyway, I'm going to go through these 9. So if there's any of these that you think that I definitely need to pick up again and try again, let me know, because I'm going to need all the help I can get. So the one that's I would consider a contemporary or modern classic to its time frame is Challenge by Vita Sackville-West. So this is definitely a book that I want to read. I did read 50 pages of it. So I read it over a couple of days, and then I just got really busy. I think I was reading this in June, and things just kind of happened. So I meant to read a chapter a day, and it just didn't happen. But I still want to go back to this. So this is following a young man who has come back to this island. That is, how do I say it? It's a Greek island that is I think under kind of like British rule in the early 1900s. And he has gone off to school and come back on his summers. And it's kind of him dealing with the people and the politics that are going on during this time frame. So again, Vita Sackville-West is one of those authors from the earliest 20th century that I want to read more of. This was her second book that she wrote, but she did not publish it at the time, because it was too telling of her own life, because she uses herself and her love interest, the person she had an affair with, as the models for this, even though I haven't quite seen how that works yet, but I do want to get to this. So this is a book, again, that I hope to get back to this year, that I started and I didn't mean to abandon. It was one of the things that dropped off because I had tried to read it a chapter a day and it just didn't work out for me. So I do want to get back to that. And then I have a couple historical fictions that first two are from last year. Yeah, I think it was last year, not the year before, but it could have been the year before. So the first one is The Mountain Sing by Nguyen Van Guamai. Anyway, so I started this one day and I read 32 pages, and I was not into it yet. Like I was curious still about it, but I wasn't rushing, or I wasn't completely clinging, didn't get totally into it, but I hear it's pretty good. It's about I think seeing, it is in, Vietnam, and I think it's showing like during the war and, then later, or maybe it's before that. No, 1920. So even before that. So, when they're going through other political things going on. And I know there's like different time periods and stuff, and showing this family, in up and down times kind of thing. So I don't know. As I said, I read 32 pages. I meant to come back to it. I think I started this, it might have been last May or the May before, like a year ago to 2 years ago for Asian Readathon in May, but I never finished it. So again, that's another one I would like to get back to. Washington Black by Ezzy Duyan. So this one is talking about a young slave who is called Wash, and on a Barbados sugar plantation. And I think he comes under the eye of the owner's brother, and things, traveling ensues and things happen. And as I said, I only got this one. I got 60 pages in and stopped. So again, I don't remember what happened on this one. I just remember I was okay with it, but I didn't continue on at the time. So there's another one. I'm curious if I should continue or not. And then one from earlier this year that I meant to read and I still haven't got back to is Catherine of Aragon, The True Queen by Alison Weir. This is the first book in the 6 Tudor Queens series. I read 122 pages and then set it down. So again, I think this actually was because I think I was reading this when I got sick with the dreaded disease back in February or something close to that at that time frame, because I kind of remember stopping reading it in February. So it was around there sometime. So I didn't get back to this. This is definitely another historical fiction I would like to get back to. Hopefully this year. I didn't even get to join in. I know there was a readathon and everything of reading these books, and I just didn't pick it up. So again, another one. Do you think I should pick that back up and continue that? And then I have some fantasy. So these are the last ones. So like 2 of these, 3 of these are ones I picked up one day and I put them on my currently reading, and then I never picked them up again. And it was mostly because I picked up multiple books that same day. I do have a tendency recently to pick up more than one book and try several of them. And then of those I pick all that night, I won't know which one I want to pick. And then the next morning I'll pick a book and that's the book I read. And I have been doing that a lot more recently. So I think these are kind of in casualties of that. The one I did from last year that happened to was The Lost Queen by Signum Pike, which is the first book in the Lost Queen trilogy. So I made it 50 pages and I didn't get any further than that. So this is talking about, I can't remember what the time period is. Oh, the 6th century Scotland. And so I know we were following a young girl and her brother. Their father is kind of one of the local lords and stuff. And then I think there's wars and things going on. I'm not sure quite. I think it's like related somehow to the Arthurian legend and Merlin, but I'm not positive on how that goes anymore. As I said, I read 50 pages. I really liked it. And I set it down and didn't get back to it. So that's one I would like to get back to. A couple months ago, I picked up Empire of Sand by Tasha Shuri. I really enjoyed the first 32 pages. Wow, there you go. I think that's a number that I read before bed and then never pick up again. So this again was one I picked up. Did I pick this up in May? Might have been, I don't know. I can't remember what month it was. And as I said, I've been wanting to read Tasha Shuri. I have this book and also The Jasmine Throne on my TBR. So I picked up this one because it's a duology and I thought, well, I'll read this. Anyway, but this one follows a woman who has something to do with like desert spirits and something, and then she kind of gets wrapped up in some political stuff because of who her father is and things that happen and who she knows and who her mother was and stuff. And that's about all I know. I don't know anything else from what I remember from that. But it says magic is in her blood. Anyway, so I hear this is really good, but I haven't picked it up again. I did it one day and then never got back to it. And I did the same thing just a couple weeks ago with Certain Dark Things by Silvia Marina Garcia. I read this one day when I read a couple of starting of like 3 books. And this one I set down as well. I got to page 30. And this is kind of, it's a urban fantasy in Mexico City where there's vampires and there's other things going on. And there's a young boy who gets kind of caught up between the rival vampires when they're not supposed to be in the city. And it was interesting. I'm not sure, it was a lot slower than I thought it would be, but it is one I still want to try again. I just set it down, didn't pick it up again the next day. And then I have 2 that are kind of the more shameful ones that I haven't picked up in years when I started them. First one was Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell. I think I started this, I want to say it was probably 3 or 4 years ago. And I got to page 60 and I remember I got really sick. I don't remember what I was sick with, but I was really sick. I remember being at the doctor's trying to read this, and that was the last time I picked it up. And then I didn't get back to this. So this is the first book in the Great Coat series. I've been wanting to read this forever, since everybody says it's kind of like the Three Musketeers. You know, just kind of, not exactly, but you know, I just feel like I'm going to like this, but I don't remember now. I remember like a scene or two from the beginning. I'd have to reread it. So this is definitely one of those ones. And it was on a 5-star prediction video that I never completed because I never finished this one and the next book. And the last one that I want to talk about is The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. So this is the first book in the Dandelion Dynasty series. So I had this book for so long. And I read like 30, what did I say? 30, it's a theme here, isn't it? 37 pages, and then I stopped. And I think this one was because I was reading other fantasy at the time, and it was hard for me to read both of them, because I think I started this out on audio. So I definitely would pick this one up physically this next time. But the thing is that I want to love this series so much. And again, this is, I think it's based off of some history, but it's considered a silk punk fantasy. I know it's very political, and a lot of things happen in the 4-book. It's a 4-book series. All the books are out now. I mean, the last book's out in hardback. Maybe both the last ones out hardback. Anyway, so I can just binge this. I could just read it. Problem is I haven't read it. And again, I read it, I just stabbed myself with my bookmark, sorry. As I said, I only made it one day or two, like listening to a little bit of it, and I didn't get very far. So anyway, it's epic fantasy that I need to read. So all of these are, you know, books I would like to read. You know, I still think I can give all of them a chance. I'm not sure which ones should be, I'm not going to be able to stack these very well, am I? Which ones I should read, or which ones I should try to get back on my TBR. What do you think? Are any of these, like, for sure I need to restart and reread them, you know, get back into it and try to finish them? So that is the top of my abandoned pile. I have many, many more. But these are the ones that I've been staring at going, I really should get back to that and make a decision on those books. Again, I only gave them like a day. Some of them like 2 days where I only read a little bit, and I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with them. So anyway, do you guys do that where you'll pick up several books at one time and then read a little bit of them and then choose one of them to read and then never pick up the other book? Let me know. And again, let me know if any of these I need to pick up to make a priority for the end of this year, because I'm definitely already planning way too much stuff for the rest of the year. And I want to read them all. I want to read everything, but I can't. You can only do so much. So tell me which ones I should focus on, and I will see you guys later. Bye.